bow, 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 and a bow, and a bow. Why aren't you working? To freeze? My Switch Pro. Why are you freezing? What's going on there? I need you. Nintendo, your stuff don't usually malfunction. Probably just the app being funny. Heyo folks, I am your Canadian brother, gaming for you, even if you don't want me to, and I hope I am not just talking to myself right now. No, you don't want... Huh? Did I get you? Gotcha! Checking. La 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 la. I've mentioned before, and I'll mention it again. I'm making it work with some weird tech, and old tech, I should say. Secondly, cats on the bed. Cats on the bed. Cats on my chair. I'm not fighting them. Fighting her. She's a cutie. That's Shelby, by the way. I am your Canadian brothers, Andrew James, gaming for you, even if you don't want me to. Welcome to what you got there. And this is my means of therapy as well as a showcasing of the sorts. We all gotta live for the moment one way or another. I'm not alone. Otherwise than that, I'm filming her live because it's the easiest way. Limited tech, like I always say. If anybody wants to help with that, Patreon is a setup, blah, blah, blah. You know, all that mumbo jumbo from everybody else. You know what to do. Otherwise than that, I'm just gonna get on to it just because I do have something coming up after, and I just felt like killing time right now. So, yeah. Seems like everything's decent, so may as well start. This was the first game I owned on PS1. Crash Bandicoot 2, Wrath of Cortex. Now, mind you, that price tag on there, all kinds of wrong. I bought that when I was coming off work one day later on in life because my copy, well, that didn't make it. And, yeah, it's a neat little tidbit for Crash since he's been around back and forth lately. And these is where they all started, back on the PS1. And I gotta admit, one of the nicest games in terms of how it was made. Just for the fact, mind you, this one is a collector, so it came out a while after. So Crash Bandicoot Warped was already announced, which had a nice big old evil grenade, that Dr. Engine. Then I can get the disc here. See, she's all kinds of detailed. It's hard to get all that detail in there, but it's all kinds of detail. Place that back. See if I can get a little satisfying noise. PS1 games are harder because they're so old. Little CD snap there. Anybody's like, what the hell's a CD? Yeah, way to make myself feel old on that one. But yeah, getting back to collector's editions. Yeah. When you get the collector's editions, one of the dorkiest games around. Nothing really special to say in terms of like Crash Bandicoot story-wise, because, well, as always, I don't spoil my games, so I try not to. And great adventures. This and one in particular, I will state, one comes with a Spyro the Dragon demo if you know how to access it. Where's my camera? Where's my camera? There you are. We'll see what's behind that disc. Just a whole lot of Crash. But yeah, as I was saying, um, in the Crash Bandicoot names, for those who have played and those who haven't, um, there's a whole lot of funny ways to die. A whole lot of funny ways to die. And if you think of that song Dumb Ways to Die, you could pretty much put every single one of his deaths right along to that song. It is great. Somebody ever does that, I want to see it. Moving on, another PS1 classic. See if I get a little noise. No, nothing. Spinning the old discaroos. Now, we're moving into Tomb Raider. I'll be straight honest on the Tomb Raider series. These ones in particular were given to me. I've got 2, 3, and the last Revelations. I have never gotten into Tomb Raider. They're highly acclaimed. They're very liked games. I still remember every one of my buddies back in the day saying Lara Croft had the cutest butt in all the video games. A little digital butt. And it was just one of those, like, to this day, I don't see the aspect of digital booty. Mind you, she's an awesome character. I will give her that. Nothing against her at all. Especially the movie-wise. That was awesome. Fighting Force, that was another old PS classic. I wish I had that, just because I have played the demo. It was kind of a side-scroller street game, but 3D. See what we got back here. But yeah, I've never actually gotten into these at all, and they're highly acclaimed. Don't take my word on the why I haven't played them. That's just they never appealed. So it wasn't the big go explore and try not to die. No. I liked Croc, which is a game that to this day I am looking for. And then we move into Tomb Raider 3. Once again, I don't know what much to say on it, just because I haven't played it. It's, once again, a good friend of mine gave me a bundle of games along with Parasite Eve, which those I love. I think a few others, but it was one of those, you can tell this one got bought at a Blockbuster. So, exactly a Blockbuster sticker. Look at that, little piece of history. And, yeah, I showed up at work and he turned around and he's, here you go. Now this one's a little broken because it's an old CD case, but there's the book. Ninjas, oh yeah. I don't know that game either, I haven't played it. And there's nothing really to show on the backside, just cause. You can see they changed color on that disc, made it look all nice pretty. There. The moment here. Stare on down, so you can all stare at my bald spot, or balding receding spot, whatever you want to call it. And then we move in to the last Revelations on that. I suppose fingers are kind of in an inappropriate spot on that one. Ha ha ha. Pre-owned, $14.99. It's one of those, keep saying, I wish I could say a whole lot more on these games. I've just never played them. As much as I tried to sit and actually get back into them, it was one of those, well, if you didn't have the first game, don't really want to get back into it. And once again, the good old helpline on the backside. Whole lot of small print on there, so I'm not going to bother showing that up. Contacting tech support. IDOS, how to reach us. Oh, but look at that. Fighting Force 2. Anybody knows Fighting Force 2? Look at that. Ow. And now we get into some more fun stuff. More funner stuff. Now those little guys are out of the way. Dinosaurs. Everybody seems to be big on dinosaurs of late, and of all things that I haven't beaten, but I have played, and my cousin put many hours, and pretty much I know the story from him. Dino Crisis. I don't know how many people actually know this game, but mine is a pre-used copy, so there's not much I can show you on that. But I do have this bad boy for it too. And it's one of those, hey, I might not have actually beat it myself, but I've read that book more times than you can think. That's a fun book. Now, the interesting thing for those of you who haven't ever played the series and whatnot, I'm looking for my copy at the moment, but it seems to be buried. If you had Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and I think you had to have the collector's edition, or like first release, it came with a demo of Dino Crisis. And nowadays, just because I've been looking on the Googs and whatnot, just to share that information, if you by chance have a copy with the original of Nemesis, of course, with the Dino Crisis demo on it, she's worth... It was stated that at one point in time it sold for $900. I'm just saying that. I'm not sure what it goes for now. I'm just going on what I've seen on the charts. Yeah. Anybody who's never actually seen a physical guide, this is a Bratty Games guide. These were the beasts of the East. They were just everything. They were the bee's knees. We needed them. Especially in games like this. Girl, and of course, once again, Blockbuster tag. Interestingly enough, I got this as a gift, which I still really appreciate, from an ex-girlfriend's uncle. It was just sitting on a shelf, pretty much like in that position, and I just so happened to be looking, and I was like, hey, wow, you have Dino Crisis. And he looked at me and said, I haven't played that 13 years. Grabbed him and said, you could do something with it for you. Merry Christmas. It was Christmas Day, mind you, but it was one of those, hey, I can truly appreciated that, man. You know, it's one of those, you ever get to see this, just know that we're showing off your game right now. Let's lightly put that away. I suppose I never really showed any of the innards. People are talking about dinosaurs, and like, show us some dinosaurs. There's some dinosaurs. I can show you those dinosaurs. There's our main character. I have no recollection of what her name was. I really don't. And I know that this game went on to have 2 more sequels. I heard the third one was a little wonky. But I know this one had multiple endings, and depending how you played, it was one of those. It blew your mind every time. You didn't know you were going to get that ending. Seems anything noteworthy other than map layouts, and I suppose anybody's never seen how they were laid out. Usually you had your telltale, your blah blah blah, go ahead, go do this, and as you can see, you got your little notepads and whatnot on the side that would usually be reflections of your such said radars, maps, whatever you were given. And then yeah, in this case it tells you right to the point where every single item was in that room: switch, DDKH, safe, panel, shotgun, you know. And even to the point where it's like the wounded scientist has some information and a mysterious item. Meanwhile, he's all blood red. And then this will also be the first encounter of the T-Rex. He like blows through the side of a building, I think it is, like right through the office window. It's really cool. Alright. It's enough of the dinosaurs. We're gonna move into something a little more. Probably wonder why I said hot coffee. Well, Once upon a time, there was a cheat made. It was known for a particular video game. Pretty big video game. Those who had such said launch day titles before a particular patch and resell and I'm not exactly sure how they did it, but they cut it from the game and they fixed another mission, and I'll get on the mission later. But who remembers San Andreas? This is a launch day copy. I got it on launch day. I skipped school for it, and I had it on pre-order forever when they first announced it. Now the funny thing is when I showed up for it that day, by legal means, and I've worked for such company, but it is the policy of the store, you are not supposed to sell games like this to a minor. Understandable. It was already paid for, everything. I just had to pick it up, so they couldn't really fight me on that. Now, the funny thing is, they would not sell me the guide. Getting back to the game, it did come with an extra nice map. That way I don't gotta pull the one out of the case. This, with your map, as you can see, mine's seen some love. If I can even get the whole thing somewhat in there. Which, by the way, interestingly enough, there is a YouTube comparison video out there of game maps. I'm not sure who makes it exactly, but if you watch it, this map is only beaten by GTA 5 by a few square kilometers. It still holds up as one of the biggest gaming maps made, and as a guy who put enough hours into the game, it was beautiful. I've been watching somebody else who's been playing a modded version of it, who's brought into a lot more modern day aspects, I guess. Stuff from GTA 5 kind of brought in backwards. And wow, like first person mode in GTA San Andreas. It works surprisingly well. Let's see if we can get that satisfying click. Oh, she still works. Now, we'll probably embarrass showing the backside of mine, because she's not horrible. Not horrible. There's no major stupid scratches there. She still runs. But, yeah. This was the almighty king of games back in the day. I still remember watching the Spike TV Awards. And that year, this bad boy was up against Halo 2. And it took Game of the Year, and it was one of those like, man, that was a close bit. I gotta admit, I've never been a huge Halo fan. I'll state that. I do respect the game, and it's one of those like I wanted Halo to take it just as badly because it was just like that was a respectable game. It was more one of those. I never had an Xbox growing up for the longest time. Closest I've coming to beating Halo 1. I think me and my buddy Nate got to a really fast run. I gotta see what's going on. People pinging me here. Hope you don't mind. Just a quick look. Alright. I'll finish this up and then get to what I gotta get. And then, yeah. So getting back to that. Oh, don't you just love that? Yeah, and she came with a big guy beside her on that launch day. Oh, those books are sitting there. And I was like, can I have one of those books? And they're like, we can't sell you the book. Really? So I went to Walmart. Sitting there in a rack. Grabbed one of their books. Can I buy this? Yeah, no problem. So I went back to EB Games. Hey guys, I got my book. Interesting little bit, but I had to do it. I was a shithead. Stood in line for 2.5 hours, maybe more. I wanted my book. Now, a lot in the book, but I won't have the time really to show everything in the book just 'cause. But it did come with another map, which mine has been hung up and used religiously, so it's almost falling apart at this point. But every Brady Games usually had a really nice poster, like I mentioned before. This one is not double backed, it's just the map. And my loving aged guide with its nice fold here. But basically, this is a quick bonk. It told you mission for mission, different stats, different ganglands, best places around town to get everything. And then, yeah, it ran you through all the missions, area locations of cars, rarities, even to the point, I know somewhere's in there is the entirety of the car list, which I only got found out. Apparently, one of those bad boys never made it in game. It's a SWAT vehicle of sorts. I'll have to go look for it. All right. With that one done, that would conclude up another episode for me because I seem to have some people pinging, which means I might have to go do some business and go sell some of these. If anything, that means more episodes. So, Kat, your Canadian brother, Shelby, by the way. Game for you if you don't want me to. I like doing my thing. What can I say? Love you all. Take care, all, and have a good one. It's fun doing these, you know. Thanks for the love of those who have been watching. Peace.